Blotties.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blades of the Dark, Episode 1, where we're doing character creation, crew creation, and depending on time, we're going to start a heist. So, yeah, should we do the round table? Well, you know what? We'll do the round table at the end. We're gonna dive into character creation. We're gonna get to know everybody's characters. So we'll do that first. So, the group has decided they want to play Shadows. That's our crew, which are what? Thieves, burglars. What else? What do you specialize in?
Saboteurs
Saboteurs, yeah.
or robbers.
It's very general. It's very broad crew type to take. I think it's probably one of the most forgiving for taking on jobs because you have a wide array of things you can do. So we've got a crew of shadows, and everybody has decided what playbook they want to be. I think that's set in stone. Gabe, which one did you take?
I picked Cutter,
Cutter. Jeff,
which is like punchy fighter.
punchy fighter. Jeff, which one did you take?
I picked Leech, which is like technician, technical kind of stuff. So anything from like mad scientist to bomber or sapper type.
Jeff's already told us he's just gonna blow everything up. His answer to everything is dynamite.
I mean,
Explosives.
End of
fan.
the game.
I mean, yeah, that's basically
Nothing
it.
wrong with a plasma bomb.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I'm flexible.
I like that. I'm
They
okay
could be
with it.
smoke bombs.
It's just gonna make me handing out complications or consequences that much easier.
I'm just gonna ratchet the heat up really fast. It's
Okay.
really...
After our first we will actually all find ourselves in Iron Hook
I was
prison.
gonna say in jail, yeah.
The blue coats will have caught up with you. You were really easy to find. You're like, what's that character off of the Muppets that always does the explosions?
Kermit.
No,
Kermit. Damn it, Gabe.
Animal.
no. It's his name's like Lou Zealand
Elmo.
or something like that. He's got the dynamite plunger.
Yeah, he's a
He's
big
got
green
He's
frog.
got the crazy eyes. That's you. That's Jeff. I think it's Lou Zealand. I think that's his name. Ken, what did you choose?
Sorry, I was completely doing something else like an asshole.
You're down the rabbit hole, the Muppet rabbit hole.
I know. I chose to do the Hound. He's a deadly sharpshooter and tracker. Like that's their archetype. I'm thinking I'm gonna make a Dog the Bounty Hunter type guy.
Okay.
So I'll do my best not to be too silly, but I will start calling everyone bra.
That's okay. Evan, what did you take?
I am playing a spider, which is kind of like the mastermind or puppeteer of the group that helps with like the plans and how to do the job.
And Aaron, what did you decide on?
I decided on the Whisperer, the sort of arcanist, the occultist, the person who attunes to the ghost field to
Yeah.
manipulate the dead.
Very good. So we've got a wide array of playbooks here. So let's dive into character creation. Everybody's kind of already gotten into it and started it. So we'll just pick up where we left off. We're going to fill in a couple of spots here. So we have our playbooks. The next thing you do is you choose your heritage. You choose where you're from. Where is everybody from? Is everybody from Duskfall? No?
Now, my character is Severosi. He was and is actually from Severos, and during the Unity War was part of a mercenary company that was hired by the Imperial Intelligence to assist in the pacification of the Skovlanders.
Yes. So a brief overview for those watching the Cerberus. If you want to be from a place considered wild, quote unquote wild, by the rest of the Empire, you come from Cerberus. So you're from the untamed, nomadic horse tribes scattered across the blasted Deathlands. Cool. Gabe, where are you from? What's your
I
heritage?
am from Akaros. Akoros. I think
Akaros.
Akaros. Yeah, of course. Akaros. I knew
Which-
that.
Which
I was
is
testing
home,
you guys.
Which is home to Duskfall,
Yeah.
where our game is taking place. So you're a native. You're from here.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Hometown.
hometown advantage. How about you, Jeff?
I am also from Akaros. I am hometown native.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken? Oh, aren't you guys brothers or something?
Aha. No. So my guy, Drobomir, He says he's from what is it? He's Scovlin. Is that what they're called? Scovlin.
Scovlin.
Scovlin. So he says he's a Scove, but he doesn't have the accent, and occasionally the accent goes in and out. You know, like a British actor doing like an American accent, or vice versa in like a movie.
Okay, so nobody really knows where you're from. You claim to be a Scovlin refugee, but it's a mystery where you're truly from.
But it's a mystery.
Okay, Evan, where are you from? What's your heritage?
The Dagger Isles, so it's kind of like the Caribbean, I guess, with pirates and ship sailing, but there's really no defenses from the spirits. So it's more of like a, rough area.
Okay, cool. So we got from various areas. Backgrounds. So you choose something that you did before you became your playbook: a cutter, a leech, a hound, a spider, a menial day job that you did. So we'll go backwards here. Aaron, what were you before?
He was a mercenary, so his background is military.
Okay. And Evan?
An academic. So he was kind of like a cartographer. He was more of the, intelligence guy on the ships that he sailed on to like kind of keep knowledge about the different islands and things.
Yeah, the brain of the operation. Ken, what were you? What did you do?
I keep doing this, but like it's because I want it to be funnier when you find out that I'm not. I say that I'm like a rough and tough like guy from the docks, but I have like really soft hands.
Okay. Those aren't the hands of a dock worker.
Yeah, exactly.
Soft hands. Jeff, what did you do before you blew things up?
I picked trade. So I'm looking at my guy as a skilled craftsperson. So maybe like a welder, blacksmithy type, messed around with metals and things, metalwork.
All right. And Gabe, what did you do before?
So I picked noble, which I was just picturing sort of degenerate trust fund kid.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
Like all rich people, he's bad.
Very good. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we assign our 4 action dots. I believe everybody's done that with their when I looked over your character sheets. This is where you get to fill in your skills, the things you're better at than others. You get to fill in dots. Has everybody done that, or does anybody need to do that?
I'm all set.
I have done it.
Okay. Next, we choose our special abilities. Now, I know this is where some people have not done theirs. Who has selected their special abilities? Evan and Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Evan, what's your special ability? Because this is where we want to kind of work together and fill in gaps. Is that correct? That's why the thought behind kind of holding off for selecting abilities?
Yeah, sure. So as a spider, I took Foresight, which that gives them the ability 2 times per score. You can assist a teammate without paying stress. Tell us how you prepared for this. So like I said, the character is more of like someone who thinks ahead and prepares in advance. So it's like being able to aid people in a situation that maybe you didn't think you were going to try and help somebody. So you can kind of do it freely without gaining stress, which is pretty cool.
Which is a really good ability you took. Knowing how much, like, you're encouraged to gain stress to try and make your rolls easier. So to be able to just like 2 times per score, you can assist someone without paying stress is a crazy good ability. Aaron, what did you take for yours?
I took a ritualist. So the Whisperer has the ability to study and learn and enact arcane rituals that obviously impact the environment or themselves in some way. And you start with one ritual. And the ritual I started with is Ghost Passage, which is very similar to one of the smuggler's special abilities. This only affects my character, though, but he's immune to possession by spirits, and he has the ability to choose to carry a second ghost within his soul. Either the ghost can voluntarily be carried by him, or he can force the ghost or the spirit of a human being into his body as a cage.
So that's cool. So for people tuning in, viewing, ghosts and vampires are a thing in this. You're going to probably encounter ghosts quite a bit. So it's cool that you have someone that can allow them to possess them or use them as a vessel. Because the ghosts will try to possess you as well in this and take over your body and use you. So it's kind of cool that we have someone that can willingly take that on and use them. Ghostbuster. Has anybody else selected their ability?
So I'm kind of between two because I wasn't really sure how one of them worked. And so maybe someone gets like the easy one I was going to do is Saboteur, which is basically whenever I use Wreck, the work is much quieter. And so it's a lot easier to hide whatever stuff I just wrecked. But I was also thinking about doing Artificer, and that's when you invent or craft a creation with like Sparkcraft features, you get a bonus to the result, and you get to begin with one special design already known. But I wasn't sure if that was actually beneficial on the first heist. So if I know that, because like, doesn't it take like a craft downtime activity to even make the special design that I would have?
You get your first one already manufactured, just like I got my first ritual already done. So if you had a device you wanted, you would already have it for your first heist.
Robot Man.
And then the other thing is like, if I were to go that route though, then Matt would have to do stuff. And I wasn't sure if Matt wanted to do stuff because there's like an invention question thing that we have to do where you ask me questions and I ask
Matt looks away like,
So I think I'm just gonna go Saboteur. Saboteur sounds good. Saboteur sounds good.
Saboteur is cool too. It's like the do you remember the mole guy from the Atlantis cartoon? Like that's what that reminds me of. Oh wait, no, the mole guy. Actually, I think I'm mixing two characters from that movie.
Oh, the Italian guy. Who likes to blow stuff up.
Yeah, he's the what's his name from Casper, where he's like piece of cake, piece of crumb cake.
Guido Sarducci.
And of course, I'm envisioning you laying det cord on the backside of a wall and then baffling it with noise suppressors so you blow a wall in without.
Yeah, that's about right. Because I'm just gonna have to really. I mean, like when you use grenades.
Yes.
Just throwing us out there. Like, you can pick like this like skill and stuff, and then you use your item like to sort of modify whatever it is you're doing. So like technically, I could be using Wreck at times to blow stuff up, right? Which would
that's her primary skill for blowing stuff up.
You narrate what skill you want to use.
Yeah, that's what I see. So yeah, I'm just gonna go Saboteur. Let's just keep it easy.
Yeah. You tell me. Yeah, you say which skill you want to use, but if you're like, I want to use Prowl to set this explosive, I'm like, that's gonna that's pretty desperate, and the effects might be very limited. But go for it if you want, Jeff. So, okay, cool. So you're gonna blow things up.
I'm gonna stick with Saboteur. I think it makes sense because I have a lot of points in Wreck, so I'll probably
that's the
on that
one
as much as I can.
That does not generate heat when you wreck.
No, it's not that it doesn't generate heat. It's just the work is much quieter than it should be, and the damage is hidden from casual inspection. So I don't know. However,
it would reduce heat.
Yeah. Might make, I don't know, however you want to apply that, basically.
Okay. Cool.
Hey, what are you chewing on?
Toothpick.
Oh, I was like, what the hell is he eating? I see it now. Toothpick. Sorry.
Ken, have you figured out your ability?
I have, Matt. I'm gonna pick Scout, because I want to be a good sort of bounty hunter. I want to be Drob the bounty hunter. So whenever I gather info to locate a target, I gain +1 effect, and whenever I hide in a prepared position or use camouflage, I get +1d to avoid detection.
Oh, that's really good.
So I'm not so good at sneaking, but I am good at hiding and stuff and locating.
That +1 to effect is really nice. Okay. And Gabe, what did you choose for yours?
So I've picked Not to be trifled with, which just lets me do something either crazy strong or beat up a bunch of people and not be at a disadvantage.
Oh, okay. So you could be like outnumbered and just like...
Yeah, I think it's like up to 6.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Fight a small gang and not be a negative.
The thing that made me pick it is at one point they mentioned like body slamming a horse.
As you do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, regardless of how helpful it is, I will be suplexing a horse at some point.
Yeah, chat here is just saying spending groats to buy rerolls and stuff or adding d6. That is pretty powerful. We'll have to figure something out for Blades in the Dark, because that is pretty powerful to buy rerolls or buy d6s for these guys. It's kind of game breaking. So you can figure something else out for spending those on the channel. Okay, so let's run through the last couple questions here. We'll just do one at a time, and they can run through the last 3 questions because they're pretty simple. I'm just going to go random here. Jeff, you have to choose a close friend and a rival. There's lists on your playbook that give you options for those, or you can make up your own. Who is your close friend and who is your rival?
My close friend is Veldrin, who is a psychonaut and is addicted to his mind is like so crazy because he's just always on drugs. And I figure because my guy uses a lot of like he's always using random chemicals, and it ties into my vice, which is stupor. And I want to just I basically imagine my guy is just constantly huffing turpentine and various other products.
Okay.
And so my friend is Veldrin, who is like, he's chasing the dragon and stuff like that. And so we chase together sometimes.
Okay. All right. You guys are junkie buddies. I don't know what you call that.
And I also handle explosives. So it's like, I thought that was like a reason.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your rival?
My rival is Stasia, who is an apothecary, who I think that, like maybe I'm not the greatest, of merchant type people. And so since I'm using a lot of chemical stuff, maybe she's not selling to me or undercutting me, something like that. I'm not exactly sure how we want to play it, but something like that.
Okay. All right. What's your character's name?
So my character's name is Oleg, and his alias is Leadbelly.
Nice. And what do you look like? What's your look? You get to choose from a list of different garb.
Yeah, that exists, but I thought it would be better to go a different way.
Okay.
Have you seen the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I am familiar with that.
Do you remember?
It's a classic film.
It's a classic. Yeah. It really is.
You're Jessica Rabbit.
I'm Jessica Rabbit. No, I'm Bob Hoskins. That'd be great. Oh my God, you just run the same. Yeah, I'm Bob Hoskins. So I am a stocky, round, balding man who looks pretty thick, and I have like a black beard, but like my face is all messed up because I huff too much turpentine.
It's messed with your looks, huh?
Yeah, I constantly have my sleeves rolled up. I have like dirt in my fingernails and hands, and I have a faraway look in my eyes.
So you described Bob Hoskins in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but you actually meant in the Mario Bros.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought about doing like a plumber, and I'm like, I don't know if the grittiness is enough. Like I wanted to do like a full plumber thing with Bob Hoskins, and that was gonna be my thing. I just do stuff with pipes.
Yeah. But he's Mario, and he's Luigi Mario.
Yeah. And I was like, I can name a Mario. Like I had the whole thing planned, and I'm like, no, got to be darker than this, I guess.
Okay. Leadbelly, you look like Bob Hoskins from Super Mario.
I got Bob Hoskins addicted to horrible stuff.
I like it. Aaron, let's go with yours. Let's go through your list here. We've got who's your close friend?
Lord Skurlock, a noble and an occultist and suspected vampire who actually I saved his life during the Unity War. He was out in the Deathlands of Skovland, and I came across him when he was under attack by spirit wardens. I didn't like spirit wardens that much, so I helped him get out of a jam, and then he helped me, because I was already fleeing the war, get back to Duskfall. And he's been sort of a mentor and a friend to me ever since.
That's pretty cool. I was just looking at the Whisperer playbook, and that Skurlock is an option. He's a pretty important NPC in this world.
Pretty awesome NPC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty big guy.
Right?
I immediately zoned in on him because I was like, Dracula.
Yeah. Right. I like in the playbook it says Skurlock, a vampire. Is all it says for his description. Okay, who's your enemy or your rival, I should say?
Well, I think my rival has equal clout because he is Lord Skurlock's main rival, is the greater sea demon Satara.
Okay. Friends with the vampire, enemies with the demon. Very
You
good.
put the stakes.
He's a
You put the
whisperer,
stakes
you
so
gotta.
high. Yeah.
A whisperer's got to whisper,
Yeah, those stakes are totally different. I had a drug addict and a plant seller. And like you have Dracula and a sea demon.
So when we're not working together, we may be operating in different social circles. I don't know.
I think so.
So you've got a Hawkeye thing going on while he's in the Avengers.
Yeah.
He's your Thor. Yeah.
But his actual name is Andras Varege, but he goes by Cade in this. Everybody knows him as Cade on the street. Nobody really calls him Andras. And Cade is an old Eruvian word that means shackle, and that was the name that was given to him in his mercenary company because that's what he did. He shackled people's ghosts to his soul and kidnapped them for Imperial intelligence.
Cool. So that's your alias is Cade.
That's my alias is Cade. And he's dusky. He's got dusky features. He always wears tinted, smoky colored glasses because his eyes, because of the ritual that he's undergone, he has no pupils and they're a silvery gray color and they always kind of swirl. And every once in a while, it looks like things are trying to push out of his irises, hands, faces, etc. So he always wears glasses because his eyes freak people out. He's got short, dark hair, and he tries to wear nice clothes that fit into Duskfall, but you can tell that he's never comfortable in them. He's obviously used to wearing something a lot freer that he can move in a lot easier. So lots of times you'll see him adjusting his sleeves or his collar because he's trying to be somebody that he's just not getting it.
Very good. Wow. We went from one extreme to the other here between Leadbelly and Cade. Evan, let's go over to you. Who's your close friend?
Jaren, a blue coat archivist. He's a double agent. So since my guy's also kind of an academic, I imagine I probably met him in the Dagger Isles on ships and we exchanged information and eventually both made it to Duskfall and we've been in touch since. But he's just a good resource because I imagine I get a lot of blueprints from different buildings that exist in the city from him, as an archivist. And kind of some secret gossip that, only the Bluecoats know about. I can go to him as a good source of knowledge.
And for people who are watching or aren't familiar, the Bluecoats are like the police of Duskfall.
The Kappas.
And they're pretty corrupt. What are the non-corrupt ones? Aaron and Evan should know this.
The inspectors.
The inspectors.
The spirit watchers or what are spirit wardens?
Oh, spirit wardens aren't. Yeah, they're not corrupted either. They're the Imperial.
It was the inspectors though.
Super bad. Yeah.
The inspectors are the good cops. They're not the crooked ones. Who's your rival?
And then my rival is Augusta, who is basically a security architect. So she's in charge of making buildings impenetrable. So it's kind of like a rival between the two of us, as I'm someone who views every building can be cracked and she's someone who makes her job to make them not crackable. So I imagine it's kind of a playing chess, which is the theme of the character. So
cool. Very cool. Yeah. What's your vice?
My vice is weird. So my character, his name is Jacques Leroy, and he cannot speak. So he has a ghost handprint across his neck, and ever since he was touched in the Dagger Isles, he lost the ability to speak. So he just constantly writes notes. So that's why he has so many books and things upon him. So his vice is weird because he's basically kind of goes into dungy whisper alleys where he can try to kind of go into the veil and look for ghosts to try and figure out a way to revert what happened to him, kind of thing. He's trying to deal with this that's happened so many years, and he's not quite sure how to get rid of it or if it's permanent or so that's kind of his vice, that he blows off steam. And maybe there's a weird psychedelic feature to it because it's all crazy whisper stuff.
Cool. What's your nickname, Jacques?
His alias is Leroy.
Leroy? What does that mean? Do you know?
It means king. Yeah. in French.
Okay.
So yeah, to kind of put it all together, so he's kind of like a middle-aged man. He's not really, I would say he's kind of unassuming. He doesn't look very unique in any features besides the weird kind of blackened handprint across his neck that he kind of covers up sometimes. But he has like overalls that have like holsters filled with books, and he has on one side books that are like all kind of white, and on the right side books that are all black. So the ones on left, he has notes of like allies and other people that he considers friends, and on the right he has books for enemies that are in black. And then the only other distinguishable feature is on his left palm. He has like a chess checkerboard tattooed on there, and you can like constantly see him just like staring at it, and like in his mind he's like playing chess whenever he's like on jobs. Like he's predicting the movements of enemies, he's moving his allies, and that's like how because he can't speak, but he's like envisioning things happening through the board.
Anticipating the next move or the
exactly.
Okay. That's cool. Very
Did
cool.
you want me to go over my vice? I think.
Oh yeah, I missed yours. I'm sorry. Yeah, please go over your vice.
That's okay. I forgot. So my vice dealer is Salia, a reconciled ghost, and my vice is also weird. So what he does to relieve himself of stress is he tracks down Salia and or other ghosts that she recommends, and he allows them passage into his body. But since he can't be possessed, instead of them driving his body or him just caging them in, he allows their senses and feelings to blend with him. And so when they're eating something, he gets an echo of how they interpret that taste or their emotional feelings from that. So it's not just how he sees it, he's getting an echo of how they see it. And that gives him this just broader perspective, and it de-stresses him.
Very cool. Very cool. Nice sick burn. Gabe, let's jump over to you. And
All
let's run yours down. So what do you got? Who's your close friend?
Close friend is Lynn Benson, my family sort of butler / man-at-arms, taught me how to fight.
Okay.
That's as deep as that relationship goes.
And your rival?
My rival is another cutter pit fighter just called Digger. And the reason I hate him is my character's name is Digby Winthrop IV, and I really, really want the nickname Digger, but I can't have it because he has it.
So you must kill him.
Yeah, I've tried to fight him a bunch of times. He always wins, and I can't get the nickname.
It's like when there was 2 ticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
What's your alias?
I don't have an alias.
Oh, so like you're just Digby.
I'm Digby. I'm Rich
Okay.
Digby Winthrop.
But you want to be known as Digger.
I desperately want to be known as Digger.
Like you basically do the Star-Lord thing where people are like, "What's your name?" and you're like, "Star-Lord."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "No, we don't call you that."
I'd sell out everyone in this crew in a heartbeat if I could get the nickname Digger.
What's your vice, Digby?
My vice is stupor. I like to get drunk, I like to get high, and I like to fight. Both winning and losing fights I enjoy.
We're gonna get along.
Yeah.
we have various social classes here in our crew. Awesome.
It's mostly low with one very high.
The guy who walks around calls himself King. The King.
Yeah. I mean, I am a noble.
I mean, they don't know
That's
that.
I'm just I'm like Chet Hanks. And actually, you know what? That's what my guy looks like. Chet Hanks. Just real douchey.
He made 2 sons, one beautiful and amazing and one terrible.
Okay. All right, Ken, over to you. Who's your friend? Who's your buddy?
So I just quickly looked through this, and I think I'm going to take a rival. My friend. Can I start with my rival first?
Yes. Who's your rival?
Okay. I'm gonna take Casta, the bounty hunter, and it should be pretty clear. I mean, obviously, we go after the same bounties, so we're always sort of going after the same stuff. But it brings up a cool thing where it says perhaps a mentor or someone who trained you. But my thinking is that maybe we were both trained by the same person, and we're like sort of, rivals, like Ken and Ryu.
I was just gonna say he's the Ken to your Ryu. Or vice versa.
Or actually, I might be the Ken to his Ryu.
All right, fine.
More realistically. And then my friend, I'm taking Valeris, who is a spy. And it asks you, it's like, who does Valeris give their intelligence to? And I was thinking it might be cool if Valeris was completely amoral and just a complete weasel. So like, even though Valeris is my friend, we've got sort of a Benny situation in The Mummy, where Valeris is really just like trying to make a buck for themselves, and they'll always sell you out. So even though they're my friend, I know I can't trust them.
Right.
I like that. So I actually gave myself really two rivals, but I like the idea. I like the idea that, you know, it's an understood relationship.
Right. What's your vice?
I'm gonna take religion as my vice, or cool. Faith, it says.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna get into it too much, but I like the idea of sort of being obsessed with, like, because they mentioned in the fluff there's like a moon goddess or a moon god, I think. Now that the sun sort of like exploded and it's like in bits. So my thinking is that Drobomir has sort of found faith in the last couple of years and is like really pushing it on people.
Okay. So like when you're not doing heists and you're looking to unwind and de-stress, do you go to a church or do you like hand out paymphets? What do you I'm just curious.
So no,
at the moon.
Yeah, that's a really great question, because I had the same question. I was like, what do you like, how could vice or faith be vice? And then I was like, well, you know, I could lose money to tithing, I could sort of get taken in by faith healers. There's lots of ways I can sort of like lose things, you know, due to my faith, because it's in this sense it's not an actual faith, it's more of sort of like a it's like Disney. I keep giving them money even though I know everything they're giving me is trash. You know what I mean? So I just keep buying into it,
right? And
that's how I'm losing money constantly. So
okay, what's your alias?
I'm going to be Drob the Bounty Hunter.
It's a Drobomir, your Drob.
That is so original.
His full name is Drobomir Targovitz, so it's also not a very original fake Skovlin name. But he's Drob the Bounty Hunter. He's a stout, weathered man with blonde hair that's been artificially bleached with sulfuric acid, like they used to do in olden days. And so he's got like weird pockmarks all over his face. And I was going to give him some wraparound glasses, but I think that's too far.
I can just envision it so clearly.
Oh, wait a minute.
I feel like there were 6 seasons of a show about him. And then he got racist.
Oh. Kid broke me.
You see him now? He's role playing.
You gotta make a deal with the dog, bro. Gotta make a deal. Find faith, bro. You gotta find faith.
Poor Matt.
This is like a dark, serious game, so everyone should
everyone came up with serious characters and interesting backstories.
I'm okay now. You call people like Youngblood.
Oh yeah, all the time, constantly.
Where did you get that?
Can you believe the sun blew up, bro?
All right. Let's move on to crew creation. Oh boy, I used to love that show. No Word of a Lie. I used to watch Dog the Bounty Hunter. All right. I'm bringing it back. Crew creation. All right. So we are Shadows. And my PDF is not going to the right page for me with summary.
Should I take these effects off?
I've stopped
looking at it.
All right. Yeah. So the first thing we need to do is we need to choose our crew type. We chose Shadow. You begin at tier 0 with a stronghold and a rep of 0, and you start with 2 coins. Your initial reputation and lair. So we need to choose where we want our lair. There was a suggestion of 6 towers that was given out earlier. because there are no penalties or bonuses in that region, and there's like little to no heat or other rival gangs. That's also the what is it? The stomping grounds of Lord Skurlock, right?
His family estates are in Six Towers, but he doesn't typically live there.
He's
anymore.
rarely there. So I can give you guys the rundown of Six Towers if you want. We can look at other districts as well. In the handout section, I did put the district modifiers in there. If you want to take a look, you can see what pluses and minuses there are for each district. Dunslow and Six Towers don't have any. And there's also a short description here for each of them. So Six Towers is many empty buildings, abandoned properties, make for good lairs. So it's kind of like the default setting for a new crew if you want. But Six Towers is this famously prestigious district has faded over the centuries into a pale shadow of what it once was. The Six Towers were originally grand residence of Duskval's first noble families. All but two, Bowmore House and Rowan House, have been sold off and converted into cheap apartments or fallen into ruin and abandon. The district has an empty, haunted feel, with many sprawling old buildings, dark without power, broad stone streets cracked and buckled, and the fires of squatters crackling from overgrown lots. So it's an older area. It's gone out of style or out of fashion. People have moved out of there. It was once prestigious. So there are a lot of abandoned buildings that you could go into, or manors, to take up your house there. Notables in the area is Mother Naira, who runs the Arms of the Weeping Lady charity house. Chef Roselle, one of the best cooks in the city, still operating the legendary Golden Plum restaurant, worth a trip into the haunted streets of Six Towers, and Flint, a spirit trafficker who trades out of the condemned manor house. Those are the notable people in this area.
The cook thing is like such a non-bonus, because like they explain that people just eat like mushrooms and centipedes.
You do eat mushrooms and centipedes.
So
that's that's true. But yeah,
it's like, how tasty can a centipede get? Actually, I take that back. Probably pretty tasty.
Would make them taste delicious, you'd think.
That's a good point.
Because it does talk about how cooks and chefs and pastry chefs, things like that, they try to take these mundane objects and turn them into something extraordinary to give a little taste.
Yeah, I immediately played myself there. I think I agree with you now. I think that is a big bonus.
So bits of trash blow an old cold wind, skitter across empty streets, illuminated only by a few still working street lamps. That's kind of like the scene what it looks like. The streets are broad stone avenues, cracked and broken. And the buildings are estates, tumbled into disrepair, grand manors, remodeled into cramped and cheap apartments. So that's Six Towers. Is there any other area you're interested in hearing about or wanting to know about?
I mean, I think it's a good idea because, I mean, our whole idea is to lay low but attack outside of it, right? So it's kind of like in the middle of the town, so we really can get to places like Night Market's probably going to be a real hotspot for us.
That's what I was thinking. Six Towers, there's not really anything to steal, so it's we're not going to be doing jobs in our backyard that way, so it'd be a good place to.
It's related to Skurlock too.
It is related to Skurlock.
Yeah, because like the narrative connection is more interesting to me than just like being like, oh, it's got a good bonus or whatever. But I think that's cool.
Skurlock Manor. All right, so I have put you over to a more detailed map of Six Towers. This is like a zoomed in version of it, and we can literally go through the streets. You can zoom in with your mouse wheel, and we can literally choose the street, the corner, and everything that we want to put our base of operations in. So this is really cool. It's got all of the landmarks.
So it's this whole strip, right?
That's illuminated, yes.
Mustard Street sounds delicious.
I'll put it over so people on the.
Well, I guess what kind of hideout do we want, and then it can be easier to pick where we want it to be.
I'd love it if it was next to the water, but it doesn't have to be.
Well, we could even potentially have like an isolated layer under a bridge, going back into the bridge works, like under a new bridge or Taylor's Bridge that separates Six Towers from the Night Market.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, under, when you go back into the bridge works where they're dealing with everything else, particularly if one of these was a drawbridge. I think Newbridge might have been originally been a drawbridge.
It makes sense that he'd be near Burial Road,
Who, the vampire?
Yeah, Skurlock. Although maybe I'm focusing too much on Skurlock. Sorry.
Skurlock Manor.
On Adam Skurlock.
The Abyss, Old Ghost Alley, Gargoyle Lane, Grey Rain Street, the Twins.
Yeah, something like that could be cool, or like maybe they like have like a not abandoned, but like a really underutilized like rail repair, and we have like a couple of like big what are they called? I don't know. I don't do trains. The boxes.
Boxcars?
Yeah, or whatever. Like, P passengers in, like, like there's like disrepaired stuff, and like it's kind of like a junkyard in a sense that people don't really touch much anymore.
That would probably be over in Coleridge where the where
station is.
Rail line is.
There is a nunnery court which might help tempt Bra to his faith healing or whatever.
Into my faith, yeah. Well, my faith is in the sky, bro. The moon's everywhere.
There are caves there too, Black Surf caves. So what do you want to choose as a layer?
Wait a minute. I can see Skurlock Manor right here on the far right, like a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on there.
But we decided this is like one of his other houses, like his other.
Well, that's his old ancestral house. He actually lives. I think he lives up in Brightstone, actually, but he's got his degenerated family still lives in Skurlock, like his great grand nephew or some such.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and you guys can pick. I'm excited about anything we want to do. I like all of this.
This is more kind of for flavor, like if you want to choose a street corner or a street to have it on, but I guess it's more like, what do you want your lair to be? Do you want it to be an old manor? Do you want it to be an old church? Do you want it to be like, this is an old, once rich neighborhood that's now been converted into apartments, so there'd be a lot of remnants of maybe some old wealth here. There may have been some services like libraries, churches, shops.
We could have like the top floor of Crumble Tower Court.
Love it.
Like we've seized that top floor, knocked out a lot of the interior walls, and instead of being a bunch of apartments up there, we've made that our hidden lair. I just like the name Crumble Tower Court.
Whereabouts is that on the map?
It's right to the right of where it says the Catacombs, north of Clearwater of the Clearwater Canal.
Gotcha. Yep.
On Oracle Road, between Oracle Road and Grave Robbers Lane.
Nice and far away also from the Six Towers precinct, which is in the north. You're not too close to them, because that was one thing to keep in mind, that there is a police precinct here.
And relatively close to the Arms of the Weeping Lady, one of the only really functioning taverns and places to eat here. Six Tower.
Cool. So you want to do like a top floor of the Crumble Tower Court?
It works for me if it works for everybody else.
One of the upper floors?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Sure,
Yeah, it's sort of like in like Peaky Blinders, where they have like that near the later seasons, they have like that big multi-story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like that.
And if things
I
all
could
go
see
wrong,
as
we can easily jump to our deaths.
Yeah.
Unless they make one of those anti-suicide Foxconn nets, so we can't.
We just bounce back in.
We just bounce back and have to go back to work.
We've already got a hidden layer. If we eventually upgrade it to secure, we could have that hidden wall that opens to a stairwell that leads down and out into the sewers.
I love that. That's a cool idea.
I'm just gonna jump to my death. First sign of anything going wrong, right out the window.
Just safer this way.
Yeah, mouth open, aiming for a fire hydrant.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
That's harsh, but okay. All right, cool. So we've figured that out. We want to choose our initial reputation. So like I said, you start with 2 coin. Oh no, your reputation. how the factions see you. Choose how the underworld factions see you. Ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, strange. How do the others look at you?
I think Old Man Logan had mentioned daring. I like daring. Daring's cool.
Daring's fine. Basically anything but honorable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Anything but honorable.
Because we're not
Subtle. I'm
nerds.
Well, and I don't see us as subtle either.
Yeah.
So,
As much as I might like to be subtle, I don't think we're going to be subtle. So
Yeah.
so
Look at our faces. Are we subtle?
Subtle.
I should have pointed this out as well. We have a crew sheet, and you guys all have access to it, so you can keep track of a lot of this information on our crew sheet. If you open that tab.
Now, Matt, are you saying that we have to do this, and you would like us to do this?
This I am not a member of this crew. That is not me. Okay, cool. So daring 6 towers, and we're in the Crumble Tower Court. Next, what we need to do is we need to establish our hunting grounds. Look at the map and pick a district in which to place your hunting grounds. Decide how to deal with the faction that claims that area. So I'll bring us back to Duskval.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Is it Crumble Down or Crumble Town? Crumble Down.
Crumble Tower.
Crumble Tower Court.
Crumble Tower. Sorry.
That's okay. We were working on the screw sheet at the same time. I'm going to let you do it.
No. It's I felt so bad because the moment I started, I was like, yeah, he's definitely touching this.
You're good. I closed out of it. I'm a very slow typer.
I mean, Night Market's the obvious one. That's like
Yeah.
the big,
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Night Market is it's also where the main train station is. So we could eventually do a train heist. And who doesn't want to do a train heist? I mean,
It's a classic.
it's a classic.
Hey, guess
Yeah,
what?
I definitely
your
wanna
GM
put
has already planned
Dynamite
for one. I'm not
on
even
the
kidding.
rail.
I've already planned one.
But how do we steal an entire train?
Yeah.
That's the trick.
We all have to install train tracks to our lair.
I'm on it.
Just
we
drive
can
it
bring-
into it.
Yeah, so we can
Just
bring the
straight.
train back. Why would you
The
steal a
sewer
train and
entrance
not
is
keep the
for-
train?
So, Night Market. Night Market is a district dominated by commerce, situated near Gadok Rail Station. Night Market receives the bulk of sellable goods from the cargo trains that travel across the Imperium, bringing the exotic and rare to Duskfall. The citizens that call Night Market home constitute a new class of elites, wealthy people who are not of noble descent, but nevertheless claim land, status, and power without titles. The district has been taken over by new construction, introducing lavish private townhomes with all of the modern advances for the elites that can afford them. So, landmarks in the area is the Vale, a luxurious social club known for its confidentiality and permissive policies regarding guests of arcane and unusual origins. Dunridge and Sons, considered by many to be the foremost tailor in Duskval. Vreen's Hound Races, the racing of specialty breed hounds, is currently in vogue amongst Duskval's upper crust. And the Devil's Tooth, a tavern known for its secret menu of alchemical concoctions. So you got electric lights dominate the area, bright colors, advertisements like painted on the sides of walls of buildings, market stalls everywhere, vendors, devout acolytes bow in silent prayer in front of statues throughout the streets. The streets themselves are multi-level wooden platforms and boardwalks, landscaped parks of petrified trees from the Deathlands. And the buildings themselves are wooden market stalls, underground stone shops, clubs, newly constructed private townhouses for the Night Market elites. That is an overview of Night Market.
I like it because there's like so much going on, right? No one's gonna miss the jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I like
whatever.
I like a busy
High money,
spot
low
that's fun.
security.
Yeah. Some of the notable people in New Market, or Night Market, I should say, is Jira, a dealer of fine weapons from the Dagger Isles. Leclore, a purveyor of personal luxuries, soaps, hair oils, perfumes, fine silks, who dabbles in fortune telling. And Mortis, a strange merchant that hides its true appearance beneath many layers of robes and hoods. Also fences occult and arcane stolen goods, no questions asked.
That's
Cool.
good.
So plus 1d to acquire a new asset, but gain 2 stress. That's your plus and your minus for Night Market if that's going to be your hunting ground. Cool. So Night Market it is. I like it. Okay. So you got to pay them 1 coin to establish your hunting grounds. Look at the map, pick a district in which to place your hunting grounds, decide how to deal with the faction that claims that area. Pay them 1 coin, pay them 2 coins and get +1 status, or pay them nothing and get a -1 status with the gang that runs.
Who is the gang that's there?
Let me see here. Night Market.
It's the old Slappy Pete's.
Not them.
The Wraiths operate out of Night Market and Silk Shore, but they're a group of shadows like us. They're not so much holding territory.
Notable factions are Dimmer Sisters, housebound recluses with an occult reputation. They have hidden agents all over the city. Path of Echoes, mystery cult that borders on open rebellion against spirit laws. The Deathland Scavengers, desperate freelancers who roam the wasteland beyond the lightning barriers. Many are former convicts from the Iron Hook. Those are notable factions there.
So whose territory would we be operating in then?
Yeah.
I don't know. I turned to my 2 experts in this game.
I mean, I would assume the Dimmer Sisters because they're pretty fucking creepy and weird.
Yeah, like, are we going hard into the
lore?
occult? Yeah, the occult angle.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I mean.
it's,
Dimmer Sisters-
we're working in their turf, so we got to figure out who's like the bad in this area.
So they're tier 2. We could also look at see who's got the highest tier out of all of those.
Yeah.
Factions.
Deathland Scavengers are tier 2 as well.
And then the Path of Echoes.
Path of Echoes is tier 3.
So do Path of Echoes then run this turf because they got the highest tier?
Yeah, we could say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So mystery
not-
cult that borders on open rebellion against the spirit laws.
we're not paying those.
So do you want to
Yeah.
pay the Path of Echoes?
No way!
No.
Those losers? We're not paying them shit.
What?
I
All right.
I actually am a member of their. I agree with their philosophy.
Oh,
but,
they're cool. I changed my mind actually.
But we don't have to pay them. I mean, we
Okay,
can be
good.
enemies with them. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, let's beat them up and blow up their house.
We're
No,
shadows-
let's.
Yeah.
shadows game.
Well, so everyone's saying no, don't pay them off. Why don't we want to pay them off?
Oh, I want to pay them off, but I'm okay if we don't. The deal is if you get a negative, if you're at a negative level with them, just a -1, they won't go out of their way to mess with you, but they'll mess with you if they happen to see you around. And then level 2, they'll go out of their way to mess with you. And then level 3, they're at war with you. And since they're tier 3 and we're tier 0, we automatically have limited effect on anything we would try to do to mess with them unless we really set the circumstances up just right.
So you're saying we should probably just pay him?
The 1 coin, I would pay them the 1 coin, but
The narrative could skew. Eventually, we stop paying them.
that's true. That is true.
We could go.
Is it a
Go
one-time
rogue.
thing? Is it a one-time thing, the coin, or does we?
No,
have
it's
to
pretty
keep
much every score. After every
Oh.
score, you pay. It's like paying the money up to the upper gang.
Yeah. They're
Well,
allowing
we've
you
got
to
two.
operate
We've
on
got
their
2
turf.
coin.
They're
Yeah.
turning a blind eye to you operating on their turf. You do have 2 coin, and you're going to get coin for completing operations. So coin or heists. Coin in this game it's like an abstract sum. What is 2 coin is something like a week's wages. 3 or 4 coin is a month.
Yeah. No, a coin is like 1 week's wage, and 4 coin is like a month. You live comfortably for a month on 4 coin.
Mm-hmm.
So
not like-
it's a bag. It's a bag of silver.
right. It's not like a single coin you're handing them. You're actually giving them a sum of money
Yeah.
to do this.
I wipe my butt with 2 coin.
That makes me want to give them coin less.
But you're going to get coin for doing heists.
It's really like, do we want us to be like pushovers, or do we
Yeah,
want to
it sets a bad precedent to pay them. What we should do is not pay them, slap the shit out of them every time we see them in the street, maybe get drunk and get high and blow some shit up.
We're so gonna die. Sure.
They are tier 3. Just
I mean, they would.
He's
crush
best friends
us.
with a vampire.
Oh, here we go.
And rivals with a demon.
Yeah.
Sadly, Lord Skurlock is also an ally of the Path of the Echoes. So,
So this is good that we're working this out because it seems like we might actually want to stay friends with these guys for a little bit. You don't think so?
it might behoove us. I would. I mean, my character would absolutely. He already agrees with their philosophy and is actually trying to do some of the same things they're trying to do. So he would be in favor of it. As a player, we can totally punch him in the face. I'm fine.
I really don't care either way.
All right, we can pay him, but I'm gonna punch one of them in the face if I see him.
Okay, so
That's
you're gonna pay them
That's-
1 coin, right? Just one
Yeah.
coin or 2?
1 coin.
Well, yeah. What is this? I thought Digby was this rich kid. You should be throwing coin around like it's nothing.
Rich people don't stay rich by spending money.
That's true. You guys all buy Volvos.
I
and
hoard it.
stuff.
I
Yeah.
send it out of I'm old money. We have a Volvo station wagon. Secretly racist.
Almost openly, almost
Yeah.
always.
Okay, let's choose our special ability. Take a look at the special abilities of your crew and choose one. It says if you can't decide to pick one, choose the first one on your list. So under shadows, we should have a list of
This is fun. Yeah.
special abilities. So let's go through that as a group and figure out what you want to choose. Shadow is on page
118.
118.
118. Thank you.
My book's different. It's 116.
It's
Weird.
116 on my PDF. I don't know about my physical one.
Yeah, I mean the easiest one is the first one if we want to get going.
Yeah, it does. It just adds 1 pip to everybody's character sheet in either Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker. So it makes us better at
Ooh, yeah, that's
starting
cool.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of them are kind of nice, but if we suck at our initial rolls, it's not going to really help us out that much. So I think everyone steals is probably a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. That was easy.
And that makes it so we can get above our maximum 2 pips at the start,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you
it says
can go to 3.
three. Mhm.
But you
Okay.
have to pick either Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker to put it into.
Yes.
Okay. And that's I'm trying to look for it right now. What's the name of that skill? So we're gonna add it to our sheet.
Everyone steals.
Perfect. Thank you.
Everyone poops.
That's actually we took that one instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So that's our special abilities. Now we have to assign crew upgrades. Your crew has 2 upgrades pre-selected. And you get to choose 2 more. If your crew has a cohort, follow the procedure to create it.
Just
Okay.
to double check, everyone added a new pip to something, right?
Yes.
That they needed
Yeah.
to. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so upgrades are on the same page there. 116, 118, depending on what book you're. I'm on 116 also. Guess there's a newer edition that came out or something. So your crew has 2 upgrades pre-selected, and you get to choose 2 more. So
So the first one is training prowess.
Prowess.
So anytime during downtime that we train, you can put an XP in prowess without having earned it if you use the downtime activity to train.
and the other is that your lair is hidden.
E.
Okay, so we get to choose 2 more.
I feel like it would make sense not to get any goons yet because we're tier 0.
Yep. That's
I
one. Yeah, the only
like thief rigging.
Yeah,
Thief
I
rigging
think the
is pretty
first 2
handy.
are cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the only thing I will say about a cohort, I don't know. Jeff, did you take physic? You didn't take physicer.
No, I'm saboteur.
So the one thing we could do is instead of taking a cohort, you can get an expert who's 1 tier higher than you, and we could have a physicer as an expert so that when we actually get beat up, there's actually somebody who can heal us without us having to go out and spend a downtime activity to find him and then spend coin to pay him. He'll already just be sitting in our lair waiting to heal us. Just a thought.
Just a guy sitting around in your apartment
Makes sense.
waiting to heal you.
No, especially
duck.
especially narrative. Yeah, a duck.
You know.
I thought you said duck, which is much funnier to me. It's
It's just a
narratively
thought.
Yeah, it narratively fits too, right? Like anytime you watch a fiction or something like this, there's always a guy that patches them up.
There's always
right?
that guy, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
veterinarian, something like a real doctor.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
they
yeah.
got kicked out.
Looks at
yeah.
horses or something.
Physiker who's
No, it
doing,
can't be horses. He's gonna
doing weird
dog-
experiments at Charter Hall, and he gets kicked out of medical school, and
it's goats.
we hired him, and he lives in our
They always make
Or
the
like-
joke where they're like, "That's not on a horse."
Goats. It's all goats in this. Nobody has
Goats,
horses.
yeah.
Oh,
that's right, yeah, it's all
goats.
good.
Goats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Giant
Yeah.
goats.
Crazy Duck always working on these goats.
Yeah, we can do that in thief rigging.
Yeah,
I think
that sounds
that's
good.
very good.
There's a lot of informants. It also looks like a good one to me, but it's not my crew.
Oh, your crew.
Oh, informants is a claim. That's something that's turf will have to earn.
Oh, that's
on
under
the
claims.
page.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
later.
I'm on the other page.
Yeah, yeah, those are all good.
Yeah, rich
So-
people
so we
do have
took-
horses. Beowulf, you're right.
So I'm just checking
Dave,
right now.
do you
so
have a horse?
No, not yet. I'm gonna suplex it when I do, though. Drop that horse right on the top of its head.
And then there won't be a horse.
Suplex.
Well,
Beowulf.
I mean, you can't create or destroy matter, so the horse will still be there.
Well, this is not real life, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
Suplexing horses and jumping off of towers.
Just turns into ghost dust.
Okay,
Will the horse come back as a
Wait,
ghost?
wait. Yeah, ghost horse.
and it will
Real
try to
quick.
possess you.
So we're taking vehicle, or we're not taking vehicle. We're taking.
Expert.
I'm trying.
and
I'm trying to like.
featured.
There's like they give you this massive list on Foundry, and it's like not. it's so hard to find stuff.
Yeah, the Foundry list I backed out of immediately. Couldn't do it.
Yeah. So we're taking Physiker, right?
You can just
Yeah,
search.
an expert.
Just type it at the top, search items, and it'll pop up.
So Aaron, is like Physiker one we can get? Because like looking at the Shadows upgrades page, I don't see that.
No, it's one you can get as a leech. It's a special
Oh.
ability you can get
Okay.
where you
Oh.
use Tinker to fix us instead of make bombs.
Oh, so he'd have to change his
Okay.
class ability. His
Well, no, I mean he
playbook
could get it as a when he
Yeah,
gets
yeah, yeah.
another advance.
Oh,
he
okay,
can
I
gotcha.
take that.
Yeah.
But
gotcha.
if that's not a direction you want to go at all, then it might be smart to have it because our expert
No,
will
no,
always
no.
be one tier higher than us. So
Like a bomb making dude who's constantly high on turpentine is definitely who you want patching you up.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
All right. I'm going to
Drop
say it one
the
more
red
time. I got
sweaters.
no idea what I'm upgrading. We have training.
So
we are
thief-
training prowess.
Thief rigging,
Deep
Train-
rigging is for sure.
training prowess. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, thief rigging, and then you can just put. I mean, the other one you don't need to put down.
You don't need to put
honestly.
hidden layer. That's fine. But thief rigging. And what was the other one you selected?
expert. It might be under cohort, but
Nah,
There's
just-
elite, like that's what I was confused because there's like elite.
Oh yeah, look,
rooks
we can
and
change
elite
it under
sculpts
expert.
Is what's
I just
there, yeah.
added it.
Okay.
I'll just put that for now.
So you took elite rooks.
No, it's just an elite expert, like an expert person, it's just one individual.
I don't see that on the list.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like the shadows upgrades don't have elite expert as an option unless I'm
well,
misunderstanding
no.
something.
If you go, there's a bunch of standard crew upgrades
Oh.
that all crews
okay,
have options to take, and that
Gotcha.
starts on page 95. And one of them is a cohort, and you can either select a cohort, which is a small gang, or a single expert.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
And
There's
yeah.
a whole bunch
the ex-
there.
Yeah,
I love
expert
the
is-
idea of some runners, some cohorts. Oh, sorry. I think I just messed what you were going to say. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying the expert is one tier higher than your gang at all times. So we'd be a tier 1 physiker to patch us up in our lair, and then when we get to tier 1, he goes to tier 2. So he's got a better chance of actually successfully healing us.
Cool.
I that's cool. I do enjoy that. But
But is he going to have
I-
an attitude though, being
Yeah.
higher level than us?
Well, that's the other thing. You've actually got to select some things about your expert. They have an edge. They're either fearsome, which doesn't make sense for a doctor. Well, maybe.
I like it. Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah.
Mm.
He does surgery with his eyes closed.
He like scares us. He's like a little crazy.
Yeah, it could be terrifying in aspect or reputation. Loyal was the one I was going with, so he wouldn't turn on us. But because in downtime, if you get too much heat, your gangs and things can get turned against you. But
How could we possibly get a lot of heat? I just
I
don't-
love
I
the
can
I love
imagine.
the Fallout though.
okay, yeah.
All
So
right.
I mean, fearsome could be an edge.
We have
If
to
you
choose
take
2.
any edges, it says you can choose up to 2, 1 or 2
Mm.
edges, but you have to choose the same number of flaws.
Fearsome, independent, loyal, or tenacious are your options for edges. 1 or 2.
I also like tenacious, that he won't give up on a task. Like if if Leadbelly comes in holding his arm in his left arm, I'll put it back on somehow.
He's a Dr.
You blew
Nick
your
type.
arm off again.
I definitely think like his flaw. I mean, wild makes sense. He's drunken, debauched, and loudmouth.
Yeah, I like that. That's why
All
he
right.
got kicked out of medical school. He was drunk.
All right.
Fearsome wild.
All right. Is he fearsome wild or is he loyal wild?
I'm sorry.
Tenacious
Just
wild?
so we're on the same page, I want to just keep making sure we're all. I'm just checking in.
Yeah.
You're saying the dog doesn't get a team.
Not
Yes.
yet.
Not until our next episode.
Not yet. You're just getting a doc.
All right, bro.
So I think tenacious and wild.
Tenacious and wild. I like wild. We're doing tenacious. You don't want to do loyal anymore. They're just gonna be tenacious.
Oh, I like loyal, but I think tenacious is probably more entertaining.
And so this is the elite adept.
The elite expert.
Yeah, I'm making it in the sheet right now.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Evan.
This is your Beth dog.
We do
Oh, a
need a
couple-
name for the person.
Well, me and Beth broke up, so better get a new one.
Didn't she die?
Did she die? Oh,
I'm sure she died.
In this story, oh my god, I don't know. R.I.P. Beth.
I'm just gonna name the person Vet, and maybe we don't know their actual name.
okay. I thought it was duck.
I thought that was a joke.
Oh,
Yeah, that was call him whatever.
I don't know.
But when we do look at crew upgrades down the road, there's a couple that take multiple upgrades to get,
Mhm.
so they're worth planning for. One is steady. It takes 3 crew upgrades, but that's +1 stress box to all characters' stresses. And then one is mastery, which allows you to get that 4th pip in any of your skills. So, and that takes 4 upgrades. But every time you upgrade your crew, if you take a crew upgrade, you get 2 slots. So
Cool. All right. So the next thing we need to do, we've done our crew upgrades. We have to then choose a faction that helped you get an upgrade, and we get a +1 status with them, or we can spend a coin to get +2 status with them. So they're our friend. They're like a rival crew, or an ally crew. I'm sorry.
I was like, wow, this is crazy.
And then one faction
We
was
have to pay
harmed.
someone to hate us.
One faction was harmed when you got the upgrade. Take -2 status with them, or spend 1 coin for a -1. So we need to choose an ally, and we need to choose an enemy faction.
I like the Deathland Scavengers as the enemy.
Oh, which you're in the grounds, the hunting grounds you chose, right?
Yeah. You know, by getting a hand up and getting these abilities, we basically whatever gang allowed us took it away from the Deathland Scavengers and said, you guys are too crazy. You can't do this anymore. We're giving it to this new crew, and that's why they hate us. We essentially were given their turf.
Are you gonna pay them coin? Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
They're only tier 2.
No, they're garbage.
They're
Ciphers
garbage
could
tier.
be a cool ally.
Yeah, I was
like-
thinking the same thing.
they, like-
Messengers Guild.
Yeah, give information like silently and secretly. So if we had a good way to like get leads.
Does it seem like we're punching down with the Deathland Scavengers? Like genuinely, I'm asking. Just in game.
They're
narratively.
they're 2 tier levels higher than we are. So
Mm.
they're
Basically means they have like a gang of like 50.
yeah. I mean, if they wanted to totally destroy us, they probably could if they could find us.
And we
Okay,
have a gang
all
of
right, I'm into it.
5, So
I'm into it. We're a gang of 4.
Another possible good ally might be the ink rakes, the journalists, because they'd be a good resource for information too.
I'm just looking through the different factions. Evan and Aaron are the experts on these factions, so
I do like the ciphers; they're cool.
I think that sounds like a cool one. I don't know what tier they are. What does this sound like?
They're tier 2, so I mean that makes sense. They'd be the same tier as our enemy, the Deathland Scavengers. So
Now, what about the Slappy Boys? What tier are they?
Yeah.
No. No.
All right.
What about the Leviathan Hunters, tier 5?
Yeah. No.
No.
No. We don't make enemies of the unseen, the spirit wardens, or the Leviathan hunters.
So, information on the
But what if we did though?
If we did, it would
Wouldn't
be
that be fun?
As long as we could hide, it'd be a lot. I mean, we could totally steal from them. I just
Yeah.
don't want to go up and smack them in the face.
But we got that big tower we can dive off of if it goes wrong.
You
That's
do.
the point.
The
Mouth
Deathland
open,
Scavengers
right under the sidewalk.
are convicts from Ironhook and desperate freelancers who roam the wasteland beyond the lightning barriers. Their turf is a few precious holdfasts in the Deathlands, secured by ancient rights against spirits. Notable NPCs: Lady Thorn, she's their leader. Richter is a hunter. Assets that they have are generators, lightning hooks, gas masks, air tanks, other essentials for surviving the Deathlands.
Yeah, I think the other cool idea could be like the brigade, which are like the firefighters, and it could be like an inn where like they put out a fire, but they let us go in for like, they let us get in right after the fire, and like, oh, a few stuff's missing. Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Or if we have a bad heist, we call them in and they actually help us.
Right.
Deal with the building.
Yeah.
Factions are on 283. If the others want to follow along, they're listed there and it lists their tier next to them. If you want just like a little brief write up of what we're looking at here as we're going through it.
Cabbies are also a good, an interesting
Yeah, I just
idea
read
because
that one too.
they go everywhere in the city, know everybody, see everything, hear everything.
An impressive gossip network, it says.
It could be like our exit strategy too, right?
Yeah. Scatter and jump in. We've paid off the cabbies to be in the area, and we all jump in a different cab and disappear.
Who are the weird boys, Logan?
Like the unseen are weird.
Yeah, I think he's like all the weirder,
gotcha.
arcane aspects of
Yeah.
the story.
Cool. You can make Lord Skurlock your enemy.
Ooh, let's do it. Oh, we need an enemy. Oh, we did. We were saying Deathland Scavengers, right?
Yeah, Deathland Scavengers is your enemy, and your ally. What are you thinking? We got blue. I was gonna say blue coats, not the blue coats. The brigade. So the cabbies. What else did you guys?
We were talking about the ciphers or the cabbies.
Yeah, I think
I like the
ciphers are good.
cabbies.
Let's do cabbies then. It's kind of
Let's do cabbies,
They're
yeah.
pretty similar, those same ideas.
Yeah.
So.
How did they
Yeah,
help you guys
it's-
get your turf? The cabbies.
That's cool.
They fuck shit up. The cabbies.
I think the cabbies gave us intelligence that allowed us to leverage the Deathland Scavengers out of their turf.
Cool. I like it. And you're not giving them any coin either, right?
Nah.
Let's start now.
Okay. And now you got to choose a favorite contact. Mark 1, who is a close friend, longtime ally, or partner in crime. Record the faction status changes related to your contact. So one faction is friendly with your contact, +1 status, and one faction is unfriendly with your contact. So we gotta come up with the contact.
Now, is this a new contact or one that we've created with our rival and our?
No, it's a new one.
I think
This
it's
is a
new,
brand
yeah.
new one. This is a contact you have in the city. It could be Skurlock.
How many friends do we need? This is too
I
much.
know.
Too many. I
We
don't.
need
I don't
a
have
lot.
this many friends in real
I
life.
was gonna
This
say
is
in real
crazy.
life I have like 3 friends. This is too much.
This is too much.
We could do some sort of like cabbie overseer kind of character. Like the boss man that sends everybody out on their day's work.
Guy who works in the call center.
Yeah,
It's,
something like that.
Like Danny DeVito from Taxi. He's behind.
I was
glass.
just
I
about
was
to
gonna
make that
say the
joke.
same thing.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. Okay, so clearly that's what we want then.
Yes.
Yeah, we all want, and he looks exactly like Danny DeVito.
He does.
Yeah.
We're all
Danny
agreed.
Dorito. Yep.
No.
We have double Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, he can be your uncle.
I'm
Or
okay
your,
with this.
your brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your uncle runs the cabbies. Thank you for the subscription, old man Logan.
Danny DeVito.
All right, so it is the
I love that name.
dispatcher, I guess. Is he the dispatcher?
Yeah,
for
the
cabbies?
dispatcher. That
there
works.
we go.
Yeah.
Danny
Dispatcher
DeVito.
by day, but he's really an information broker is his real job.
Yeah.
Danny Dorito, that son of a bitch.
All right, so one faction is friendly. with
And
your
bit of
contact.
flavor text, he knows how to juggle.
Okay. Okay.
So
It's
keep that in
important.
mind. It's going to come up.
So what's a faction who's friendly with him, and you're gonna get a +1 status with them? Who would be friendly with the cabbies? What makes sense?
Ciphers make sense, right? Can't we just tie it together? I mean,
Kill two birds. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you get a +1 with the ciphers, and then who's an enemy of the cabbies?
Someone different.
Factions
besides
unfriendly.
Deathland.
unfriendly with Danny DeRito.
Yeah.
Who couldn't like Danny DeRito?
Who doesn't like Danny DeRito?
He's so talented.
Judd Hirsch.
Mm,
What's a faction that would maybe kind of be at odds or compete with the cabbies? Maybe that's one way to look at
What
it.
about the
Yeah.
Hive or the city council?
no, not the Hive.
Let's punch up, because why not? Because
Up.
I'm being honest. Like, let's
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it more
Yeah,
interesting.
but the Hive actually they run the cabbies.
The Hive are like the mafia.
Well, so like, okay, I get what you're saying.
They
How
like
about the-
run
how about-
everybody. Yeah.
How about the Gray Cloaks? One, they run in 6 towers, so it would be interesting for us to every once in a while run across them as people we don't get along with. And part of the reason that they had a falling out and got fired from the Bluecoats is because someone informed on them for burning down that Scovelander tenement building, and they could think the cabbies did it. Were the ones that informed on them.
I mean, again, why not punch up? Like,
Well,
we can make the narrative fit whatever we want. I just feel like if we're taking tier 2 and 1 and 2, it just seems like we're playing it too safe.
All right. Well, you got the Dockers. You got the Forgotten Gods called.
You can do whatever you
I
want
mean-
until you run into them, and then you realize we actually can't do anything.
Circle
against
the
them.
Flame.
Well, this may sound crazy. This is just a game that we're playing,
Well,
so
I
we're not
get
actually
that.
going to get beat up.
What?
And like, and the excitement comes from that narrative.
Okay, good.
What about the inspectors? The like.
That's what I was gonna say. Actually,
The straight cops who can't be bought off. Maybe this Danny DeRito or whatever your contact's name is with the cabbies tried to buy him off, and he's got some heat with them now.
I'm good with like the straight man cops.
How about the Ministry of Preservation? If you want to punch up, they're tier 5, and they're the governmental body that's responsible for overseeing all transportation. So I mean, they would have a vested interest in the cabbies.
I'm actually so if that's okay with everyone else, I like that narratively, and it is it's the same idea, and like
Mhm.
Okay.
it's cool. Like maybe there's like a Lyft, Uber, cabbies thing going on.
Cabbies aren't paying the appropriate, or they're trying to hide some of their taxes from the
Yeah.
ministry. And
Yeah, trying to flex a little bit more of their own power.
all right, can't punch higher than Ministry of Preservation.
I appreciate it. I won't ask for any more.
You gave
That's
Ken one ass.
That's
Yeah.
all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And thank
We
you.
just had to have one suicide feud. And Ken's happy.
You just gotta let me know I can get literally destroyed by someone.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay.
would the ministry probably know where the horses are or have horses?
They would have horses.
Excellent.
They'll have whatever.
They will actually have the mechanical demon-driven horses.
That's so cool.
which
Horse
makes
is a
sense
horse.
because the cabbies are like the goat. Like they do the goats, right?
Yeah.
They-
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like rickshaw cabs, or there's a few bigger carriages if you got 4 goats pulling it. But yeah,
Wasn't back in the day, weren't they called Brocken riders or whatever, the goat riders from like the 1700s? They used to. Never mind. Ignore that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Literally
I
no
have
one
no
knows
idea.
that. That was made up.
Yeah, totally. I was reading that this morning, actually.
Oh, you mean the Brocken Riders?
Oh, the Brocken.
Your pronunciation was a little off. So
Okay, so we have our crew, we have our characters. Unfortunately, we have half an hour left. That's not enough time for the heist that we have planned. I don't think we're going to get through a heist tonight in half an hour.
let's storm up to the front gate of the Ministry of Transportation.
We,
we'll
We
start
could-
a new crew next week.
yeah.
We'll start again.
Do you want to do something just quickly, just to kind of play with the mechanics and get used to it? You could tell me what you want to do, and we can just
I
kind
mean,
of roll with it.
We could do our engagement roll and figure out where we're going to start next week.
That's a cool. I like that idea.
Okay.
And on a cliffhanger.
So what? I'll throw it to you. What type of job do you want to do, or do you want? Oh, so the actual heist that I've planned. You want to do the
Yeah,
leave off on
yeah.
the? Oh, okay,
Let's
okay.
leap in.
Yeah. Okay, I like
yeah,
that.
we can start the scene on it.
And then leave off the engagement roll. Okay, I like that. I like that. All right. So the 5 of you. What's the name of your crew? Do you have a name? Do you have a nickname for your crew?
The cool dudes.
The
No.
Brocken Riders.
The Brocken Riders. Yep.
You sons of bitches.
We might have
Okay.
to come back on that one.
Yeah, the Brocken Riders for now. So there's an
Also,
asterisk on that.
just put underneath
Pencil
it
it
pencil in underneath it as an alternate title, the Slappy Boys.
No.
I'm just not going to put anything in there.
We'll work on that.
Put a pin in it.
All right, so you have set up your lair, and you're looking to make a name for yourself. You have what? 2 coin to your
One
name.
coin.
1 coin to your name. You have some contacts across the city, and we're gonna say that your connection in the cabbies has put out word that you're looking for jobs and that you're a group of shadows and the type of work you're looking for. And one day, while you're lounging about, hanging out in your lair, looking down on 6 towers and something to do, you get a knock, knock, knock on the door.
We all ignore it.
And then
Okay.
knock, knock, knock again.
All right, I go open the door.
Oh boy.
Yeah, staying the doors. It's kind of a medium-sized man. He's got tattered clothes. He's holding like a page boy cap in his hands. He's kind of crumpling it and like moving it around in his hands, fidgeting. His hair is all messy and disheveled. He looks really anxious. He's looking around the hallways, and when you open the door, you kind of startle him. He goes, I was told by. Are we really going with Danny Dorito for his name? I was told by Danny Dorito.
Double D.
Yes.
I could that you could possibly do a job for me. You're in the market for such work, maybe. And he's really anxious and kind of wiry.
All right. I immediately hate this man with every ounce of my being. So
That's not fair.
Are you
That's
gonna
I'm
not
just
throw
gonna
him
make
the tower?
that's the initial instinct. I'm just gonna sort of roll my eyes and walk away.
Sure.
I'll leave the door open, so it's like an invitation.
Yeah, you walk away and he's kind of holds it in a hand.
Cade looks over and he goes, walks up to the door. What is it that you want?
Some sensitive information has been stolen from me, and I am being blackmailed with it. And I would like you to return it to me, and sealed. It is a letter. It is sealed with a wax seal on it, and I do not look at it, do not read it. I just want it back, and for your troubles, I am willing to give you 3 coin.
We do not work for less than 4 coins.
I will tell you what, if you silence this man and get my information back, I'll pay you 4 coin. I know it's not your specialty, but I'm willing to pay.
And where is this man?
Well, see, he lives over in Night Market, and he's quite wealthy. He's always got guards around him. It's going to be quite difficult to get close to him. He keeps it on his persons, from what I understand. But once a week, he lets his guard down. He goes over to the Silk Shore and partakes in some vices over there. Perhaps when his guard is down, you may be able to get the letter from his persons.
And what day of the week does this man go to Silk Shore?
Wednesday. I know there's actual names of days in this world, but I don't know them off the top of my head. Wednesdays. That is what, Surin?
Surin.
Surin. I just found it in the book here.
I will need all the information you have on this man. 1 coin in advance and your timeline.
Do you want to roll to try and I don't know
Sure.
what skill you want to use to try and get some more coin out of this man?
I guess that's gonna be. I think I'm commanding him. I'm not giving him a
Ooh.
choice.
Ooh. Okay.
Does anybody want to help out with that, or
Maybe
So-
someone named Digby.
So
Yeah.
you can
I'll-
spend a
I'll-
stress
yeah.
and give him a die, or he can spend a stress or 2 stress and get 1 die, or I can offer a devil's bargain.
I'll spend a stress to give him a die.
Okay.
All right. And what is my position and effect? Control?
It's going to be controlled for this one, and the effect will be standard.
Okay. All right. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. Partial success. You hesitate, withdraw, or try a different approach. So you can do it. It will succeed, but with a minor complication. So do you want to? The complication, I'm going to say, I get to throw the consequence out to you, right? Let you know what it is, and you can choose whether or not you want to pull it back. He will agree to it, but it is going to result in extra heat. You're going to gain 1 heat if you proceed with this.
I'll pull back. I go, on second thought, simply give us the dossier on the man and your timeline, and you can pay us all 4 coin at the end of the job, as long as we execute it to your specifications. That was 3 for the retrieval and 1 if the gentleman does not leave Silk Shores.
3 for the information and 1 if you silence him forever.
Yes, I understand.
His eyes get wide, and he kind of stops fidgeting at that point. And you see him kind of like he gets kind of excited by that.
But we will need the full dossier.
Yes, indeed. He's fidgeting with his hat more.
Do you have the information now?
I do. I came prepared. So, like I said, once a week he goes and unwinds. He heads over to Madame Teslin's Golden Palace. And he likes to unwind. You know Madame Teslin's Golden Palace to be like the premier brothel in Duskfall. This is like high class, high society, where gentlemen go. He likes, over in the Red Lamp district.
I'm familiar.
He goes there. He only has 2 guards with him when he goes there, and you can only assume that when he's occupied, the guards definitely won't be with him. Perhaps that would be a good opportunity, or maybe you could throw him into the waters below. So one thing to know about Silkshore is that it's almost like Venice. It's more easily navigated with gondolas. It's just like a bunch of canals running through there. That's up to you, though. However you see fit. But yes, so Madame Teslin's. He goes there once a week on Wednesdays, so I'm told. It is a fancy dress attire place. So and he looks at the group of you're gonna have to do something about these.
You do not need to tell me my business. You need to tell me the information.
Yes.
Have.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You are correct. Okay. Have you been there before? He points to you.
I am familiar with Silk Shores.
So no, with the Golden, the King's Court, I called it the Golden Palace. The Golden Palace. I don't know why I called it 2 different names. The Golden Palace. Have you been there before?
Tell me what you want to tell me about the Golden Palace.
Well, you know that the employees, they all everyone wears masks there to hide their identities. It's for safety. There are some high-ranking officials and important people that go there, and they wouldn't want their identities known or get out that they go there and partake in the vices of such a place.
Yes, I am aware of the protocols there.
Okay. Well, your target, his name is Martin Hanley, and he always wears a hare's mask. It is white and gilded with gold, and you will know him by that.
Yes. And when do you need this transaction to be completed by?
As soon as possible. That information cannot get out. I can no longer stand to be blackmailed. That information is very, very important.
Mm-hmm. We will look into this matter, and we will deal with it as soon as possible. And where might we find you?
Oh, yes. You can find me at the docks. And I am not hard to find. My name is Mr. Dubois. You ask around the docks, and you will people will come get me, and I will find you.
You mean Danny DeRito?
No, that is our
Our best friend.
yeah, our
mutual
friend.
best
That is
friend.
our mutual acquaintance. I am Mr. Dubois.
All right.
My bad.
Thank you, Mr. Dubois. I shall discuss this with my associates, and we will see what we can do about retrieving your unopened letter for you.
Very good, very good. Thank you. I knew Daniel would not let me down by recommending the group of you to me. Thank you so much.
And Cade takes his glasses off so this guy can see his freaky eyes, and he stares at him directly, and he goes, "You're going to forget that you came here, that you saw us. We are going to do this job, and you will forget that you ever knew us, or the things you see crawling behind my eyes will come for you."
And that whole time he's giving that speech, Digby's flexing behind him.
He will punch you out.
He just kind of goes. He kind of shudders. Ooh, yes. Of course, that is protocol, right? Is it not?
It is indeed. I just like to make sure that our first-time business associations, we understand one another completely.
Oh, completely. He kind of puts his hat on and he walks backwards towards the door. And I'll show myself out. Is this okay?
This is good.
Walks to the door and closes it, kind of looking in at you as he does so before it finally closes.
Kay turns around and goes, "All right, boyos, looks like we've got ourselves a job."
All right, Slappy Boy Huddle.
Slappy
Jacques-
boys.
That's not what
Jacques-
we're calling ourselves. I don't care what you
It
say.
is placeholder. So, off the
Jacques
top of
will
my head,
go.
Digby theory right off the top of the dome. I will pose as a prostitute. Sneak in there, meet up with this guy, give him the old chokerino, kill him. Then, for sure, I'm taking that letter. For sure, we're going to read what it says. And then blackmail the guy that weird, annoying guy who just left.
Mr. Dubois.
Yeah.
I don't think that we'll ever get any more business, fellas, if we start our first job by blackmailing the guy that hired us.
Okay.
That's a great point, bro.
A good point. Well made.
But I love your enthusiasm.
Jacques will go. I'm imagining we have like a chalkboard or something that he writes a lot of
Sure.
stuff on. He'll
Yes.
walk over there and he'll put.
But it's really small.
Did Danny DeRito just give away our secret hideout?
Huh.
That's
That's
my
great.
big fear. Yeah.
That's a great point.
Good point. All right.
And then kind of like
So
underline
one-
it like 3 times, like.
So one of us is going to have to dress up like a prostitute and kill Danny DeRito.
Each plan has you doing that, yes.
Yeah. There's no way we get out of this not dressed like prostitutes.
You got to put the dress on.
Or we talk to Danny, and maybe after we get paid, we kill Mr. Dubois.
I mean, the death's there still. We added the talking, but that's also very interesting.
I still want to get
ju-
paid first.
It
though.
just might work.
Yeah. I'm down for whatever.
He will write, "We need to acquire nicer clothes and masks."
Yep. So we need to acquire an asset and maybe gather a little bit of intel about Madame Teslins.
That's where the dog comes in, bro.
A little surveying.
Yeah. So now we can do our planning. We can do surveying. We can go acquire some fancier dress, some masks, which will help. These are things that'll help us with our engagement roll. And so, because this is our first time playing, you don't spend too much time dwelling on the how. You'll pull it off. Instead, it's just like, what are we gonna do to start this? What's our overview plan? And then we just zoom in, boom, on it starting. We make that first roll and we figure out how good or bad the opening of this heist is. So we're not going to sit here and figure out every little detail.
Yeah, I think deception, right? We're trying to
deception.
deceive the fact that we are a part of this noble party.
Absolutely.
Oh. And as a noble, I can bring you guys clothes from my closet. We can all wear my clothes.
Why is everyone wearing prostitute dresses?
It's part of the plan.
Well, no. Wait. Are we doing the prostitute thing? Because I'll bring you just regular noble.
It's
clothes.
not. It's not important.
If you need me to slut it up, just give me a wink.
I don't think we're doing it. So did you want to do a survey, dog?
So yeah, I didn't know.
Sorry, Drob.
It's okay. I didn't know if that was before or after the engagement roll. I know the engagement roll really happens first, but we can do like flashbacks and stuff.
No, you can do a survey. What are the two things you do beforehand?
You can
survey.
gather information. Yeah, you can gather information either through study or survey, or you can acquire assets that are going to help you. And these are things that help actually do the engagement roll. But
yeah,
it's supposed to be quick stuff, not a lot of
so
back
like
and forth.
Yeah, you can like kind of like sit like at a cafe across the street for the day and kind of just make note of like comings and goings and people and the building itself and the layout.
And we can do both of those rolls before the engagement roll, correct?
Survey and study, yes.
Okay, then I would like to survey just to double check that. What's the guy's name that we're going after?
You're going after Martin Hanley.
Just to make sure that we know that Hanley wears that mask, doesn't have other masks, and
so do you want to?
He has 2 guards. Et cetera,
so does that mean you want to observe him this Wednesday and then wait till the following Wednesday to execute your plan? He goes once a week.
Yeah, no, maybe survey the building itself and see what the best entrances and exit points are, and how much security Madame Teslin has on the door and in the house.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a much better idea. So we'll do that. And then because we want to get this done as quick as possible. So
you can make a survey roll. You can take 2 stress and add a die to that. Or someone can assist you. They can take 1 stress and give you a die. Or you can take a devil's bargain.
I'm not going to take the devil's 3-way. I will. Maybe I can bring. Sorry, Jeff, I forgot your name. The explosives expert.
Yeah, I can go with you.
Leadbelly.
Yeah, Leadbelly. So Leadbelly can get like the jet or the blues musician.
Yeah.
We can get it's sort of a layout of the building and stuff just in case, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So does that mean you're burning a stress, Leadbelly, to help him with this?
Yeah, that's fine. Because the whole time that we're doing this, I'll have like a brown paper bag like to my face as I'm
just huffing.
So we're gonna say it's like what, daytime? You're gonna go there during the day and you just want to observe, right? Like you're just like across the way. So the way the Silk Shore is laid out, it's mostly like artists that live there, but this is also like the Red Lamp District, they call it. So there's a lot of places where you can get illicit
cool
goods
stuff.
And yes, there's brothels. There's like bright, colorful silk cloth hanging from each of these buildings that kind of denotes what you can go and get, what sort of vice you can go partake in.
It's like a fantasy Spencer's Gifts.
It's a fantasy Spencer's Gifts, yes.
Cade is actually going to go as well, but he's going to attune to the ghost field to see if the building is warded in any way, or whether or not there are any ghost doors into the structure.
Okay. All right, so let's do our survey roll first. And Jeff, you're taking a stress. Leadbelly, you're taking a stress to give. I
did indeed. Yeah, absolutely.
Draw.
I mean, there's a lot of vice around here, and I keep trying to get him to take us to the one that gives out the drugs, the Black Lotus, or whatever they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, because it's daytime, you're just kind of observing from across the street. I'm like, you're playing it safe, are you not? Like, what does this look like?
Oh no,
we're being
super... No, we're being super casual. I'd like to.
So it's going to be controlled, and it's going to have, let's say, great effect.
Okay. And
this is pretty low risk what you're doing right now.
Yep, and I just wanted to just remind you that I have this scout ability. So whenever I gather information to it's just a located target. So I already know. So never mind. Ignore that.
Okay.
Does this have? How do you roll in this one? I always forget.
So click on the skill that you want to use, like the actual like name or word of the skill, and it'll bring a pop up.
And we're sure that would be survey, not anything else, correct?
Survey is a location or situation to understand what's going on, sense trouble before it happens, gather information about opportunities or exploits.
So you're good with survey though, right?
Surveys, yeah, this is what you want to do. Study is more of a
Okay.
person or a document. Scrutinize someone. So you're giving yourself 3. So give yourself an extra D, because I think there's a drop down on how many dice you're
Yep.
rolling.
So +1D, controlled, and great effect.
Great, yep.
Bango.
Oh. You should have an extra, or no, do you
I think
only
it's
have,
10.
do you
You
only
have 1 or 2 dice in survey.
I only have 1.
Oh,
Then, yeah,
snap.
that's right.
Okay.
Okay. Falter.
Oh wait,
Press
I
on.
should have shouldn't I have a third die though?
Mm-mm.
No,
'Cause
if
Jeff-
you do, you, how many
Jeff only
dots?
gives you 1.
I
How
only
many
give you
dots
one.
do you
Yeah.
have in survey? Just 1?
Oh, good call. You're right. Yeah, so I failed.
Hmm.
Or I didn't. Well, I guess I middled. I didn't.
So you can
fail.
either you can press on by seizing a risky opportunity, or withdraw and try a different approach. So 1, 2, 3 is a fail, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. So you're distracted by the sights and sounds of Silkshore. There are acrobats.
the colors, bruh.
No, there's a park across the way, and there are acrobats that fly off of these like spark ignited machines, and just as about to hit them, these sparks erupt and they bounce off of each of these poles and onto another one. You're just kind of like taken in by the sights and the sounds. People are tempting you with all sorts of vices as you're walking around, and you're not able to get a good read on Madame Teslins.
That's fair. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The press on by seizing a risky opportunity. Like, what does that mean? Like, you can like come up with like a fictional reason why you might like push this further and like still try to gain the information.
Yeah, and instead of being controlled, then it goes to like
Mhm.
risky standard, and then you
Yeah.
can start potentially taking some form of harm
Okay,
or increased heat or something.
gotcha.
A real
Controlled,
penalty. Yeah.
Controlled, you can just walk away and just, and since
I'll
it's
give-
just
Yeah.
for an engagement role.
Yeah. So you do
It's
see
like putting
like
a roll, Forbidden
You-
Lands. You can like do it again.
like basic information, just looking at the building. It's a 2-story building. There are balconies on the second floors, on all the rooms. There's a wall around it. There's a gate with 2 guards at the gate, and you do see people coming in wearing masks. Like coaches will pull up, gentlemen will come out, and they'll have a mask on their face when they get out of their carriage. The carriage rides away. And you also see that there is a dock on the back side of this that gondolas are also pulling up at and letting off patrons.
So like
That's just general things, but you didn't
Yeah,
gain
yeah.
anything
Mhm.
that isn't surface level. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. So like we could say that if we wanted to, not that I'm saying I want to push the roll, we could say that me and Jeff, I forgot your character's name again.
Lead Belly's fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lead
Or the
Belly.
musician.
Yep. So we could say that we create some sort of like fight outside or something like that to basically interact with these like house guards and sort of get a better feel for what they're packing, if they have extra people, that
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we said we could do that if we wanted to, right?
Yeah, and then you would roll again, but it would.
Yeah.
But then you'd be rolling skirmish instead of.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
gonna be I'm gonna say that's gonna be risky and limited if you did that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Alright.
hop over
Do it.
to to Cade, and you want to do a tune, right?
Yeah, so Cade is sitting back and he's watching the other two watch the acrobats, and he dips his head down for a second and takes his glasses off, puts on his fine spirit mask, and from under the brim of his hat starts slowly attuning to the ghost field so he can see
Mm-hmm.
what this building is truly like in
Okay.
his real world.
Do you want to burn a stress, or does someone want to assist you, or do you want to take a devil's bargain?
I am not going to burn a stress on this. What would the devil's bargain look like?
In this situation, this is an interesting one because you're surveying. This will add heat. This will add heat to the crew.
So that would be regardless of whether I succeed or fail. So nope, I'm just going to roll with the tune and see what I can see without taking any other stress, since it's
Very
still
good.
just the engagement. And this is controlled?
This is controlled. Yes, controlled, and it's going to be standard effect. Partial success.
And so with my spirit mask, since it's fine, I get +1 to the effect
Oh, do you?
while I'm wearing it. Yeah.
So that bumps it up then to great.
Great effect. Yeah.
Okay, but you're going to suffer a harm.
But, well, it's controlled, so I might just walk away from it. What would the harm be?
You're standing there, and you're kind of engrossed. You're in the ghost field, or whatever that looks like, the spirit field, as you will. And the other two are sitting there trying to, like, maybe start a fight. They're pushing one another. They're like, hey, let's make this look real. And they're not really paying attention to what's going on around them. And a man comes over and puts his arm around you and says, friend, what are you doing here?
I am considering the wares of this place.
We have heard of you. What are you doing on our turf? And you know this as a wraith, who is a faction that operates out of here. And you are going to gain, if you want to take the consequence, you don't have to. You're going to end up gaining some heat with them. They've kind of caught you doing something on their turf.
I'll go ahead. We'll take the heat from the wraiths.
Okay, so +1 heat with the wraiths.
I look at him. And I go, what I am doing here is my concern. Why don't you go back to your crew and fuck off?
He kind of grins. He's got yellow teeth, missing teeth. Oh, so that's how it's going to be.
I respect your skills. You clearly do not respect mine.
We'll keep a close eye on you when you enter our turf going forward.
It is a pleasure to speak with you.
He just grins. He tips his hat, kind of gives you fuck you, and then goes about his business. And he gives a wide step around Leadbelly and Drob.
But so since I succeeded, what do I see in the ghost?
So you do see you're looking at this house. You're attuned to the ghost field, and there is definitely ectoplasmic energy within
everywhere.
This house. No, within this house. It looks like it's centralized on the second floor. And it might be attuned to a person or thing. It's almost like it's like in one spot or place, and you watch it. You can't make out what it is, but there is definitely ectoplasmic energy emanating from the second floor.
Okay, and but the building itself isn't warded, but there is a source of electroplasmic energy on the second floor.
Correct.
Okay. Are there any ghost doors or any echoes of access into the building that no longer exist in the real world?
There are not.
Okay. So he turns and goes, gentlemen, if you are done wrestling in the street, perhaps we can have lunch.
I'm in the middle of trying to convince Ken's character of the proper parabolic arc needed to toss the grenade into the gondola. I can really get it there. But lunch is
fine. Bro, I believe you, bro. Let's go.
No, lunch is fine.
Kate is just walking away.
Yeah, he just goes. Yeah, Drog tags along.
Okay, so you've scoped the place out. You've just got the bare minimum for the location itself, but you do know that there is ectoplasmic energy or ghost or spirit or something going on.
You did a bad job on that roll, though, remember. Drop. We don't know a lot because you rolled bad.
I do remember that.
Okay, so is that all we wanted to prepare, or was there you wanted to acquire attire? You need a mask.
I'm gonna go to my parents' house and get a bunch of hand-me-downs for these guys.
But they're like all your clothes from when you were a kid. So
Yeah,
they don't really
it's all
fit.
kids. It's all kids' clothes.
Yeah, I can't guarantee the clothes are going to fit well, but they'll be nice clothes.
So what is that? What does that look like? What are you? How are you gaining this?
I'm gonna. So my family doesn't like me that much, but I'm gonna finesse my way past the front door into my old room. Get the old chifforobe open.
I'm amazed that you decided not to fight everyone in your own household. That
Great.
you decided to talk. It's good.
Are you gonna go
Yeah.
steal some of your father's suits as well, maybe while you're there that fit grown men?
How tall are these guys? They seem small when they're describing their characters. Yeah, sure. I'll get a nice sort of a smattering. I'll steal some of my dad's clothes, some of my clothes, some of my mom's clothes.
Servants' clothes.
Yeah. Two
Sure,
big
there's like a-
handfuls.
Make sure there's
Okay.
like a 42 waist in there because that belly's.
Oh
kinda-
yeah.
it's kind of rotund.
Is anybody going with Digby, to go acquire some fine dress clothes from his house?
Come on, guys.
I would be the only one there, and I would not go with you.
Okay.
The mute guy's just like, Okay. So yeah, you go to your family's estate house, and there's no trouble going in there. What are you doing? You're consorting?
I'm finessing.
Finessing, I'm sorry. An item or from someone's pocket. Okay. It's gonna be
Wait, so you're literally
closet.
going into your
Yeah.
own
A
home.
closet in a house.
and just ransacking the closets. It's gonna be risky because someone might catch you, walking around the hallway with like an armful of clothes from various dressers and such.
Uncle Taldsworth's bedroom.
Yeah.
And the effect will be standard, risky and standard, we'll say.
Okay.
Do you want to take a devil's bargain for an additional die?
Yes.
He doesn't even know what it is.
If
He
you-
just
1,000% yes.
If you do, you're gonna have to betray a friend or loved one.
Fine.
Okay, so roll me 3d6 at risky and standard. Wow,
Oh, I rolled
Nice.
4.
Oh, just drop the last one.
you still got just drop the
Yeah.
last one. So you find clothing that would fit every one of these people. Very
Hilarious.
nice fancy clothing.
Well, now hold on one second. I'm gonna take the thing that would fit Jocks and throw it away and get something a half a size too small because he didn't want to come. Because he didn't want to come help.
I like how you called them jocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jax, old Jackie. Jackie
Okay.
Leroy.
So
I
you
call
do
him.
find something that would fit him perfectly, but you toss it out the window. As you're tossing it aside out the window, your father comes into the room and says, "What?" Okay, so the person you're gonna betray is your ally. This is gonna be your the butler who trained you.
Okay.
So
That's
you're basically you're gonna sell him out here. This is who you're gonna betray. So your father storms in the room, and goes, "What is the meaning of this?"
I'll be like, it was Lynn. Lynn Benson said I could do this. Then sprint down the hall.
He goes, "Lynn, I will have his job for this. This is it. This is the last time that he
I
covers
yell,
for
sorry
you
about it. Sorry about it.
And
Lynn,"
allows-
over my shoulder.
for such tomfoolery. Get out of my house."
Can
Digby.
we just can I pause this? Digby, what's your dad's name?
Digby.
Digby Winthrop the
Oh,
Third.
that's right. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I forgot there's about 20 of you. Okay. That makes sense.
There's at least 4.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, he's shouting, "Get the hell out of my house! Till you clean up your life and your act, get out of here, and you can take that what's his name? Linsworth? What's his name?
Lynn Benson.
You
Lynn,
can take
first
Lynn
name
Benson
last name
with you.
Benson.
He no longer is employed here."
Okay, cool.
But Lynn was born in this house into
Yes.
servitude.
Okay,
Yeah, what then, Dad?
so you were
Digby.
successful,
Oh.
but you have also betrayed. You have betrayed your closest friend or ally, and something bad will befall them.
Come see, come saw.
Uh,
Sunrise, sunset.
so willy-nilly with your friend. Okay, so engagement roll. Let's go to the engagement roll. Is that all the planning you all want to do?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we got everything. Clothes, and we know where the place is.
Hot
Masks.
and fast. Hot and loose, like we like
you acquired masquerade masks or Venetian masquerade masks?
Yeah, I scooped a handful of those on the way out.
Your family's in some Stanley Kubrick eyes wide shut stuff.
Yeah, they're
something
rich people, so they all having just gross eyes wide shut sex parties.
Is that something I could make with like Tinker? Is that could I actually
How long does it take to tinker though? Is there time involved?
that'd
Yeah,
be
that's
cool.
what I was wondering, because like there's a whole separate crafting system which is like downtime activities. So I didn't know if it was like something you could do in the prep phase.
You could spend coin to acquire an asset. So you could probably spend the coin to make it, but we only have one coin at the moment.
So you
Yeah,
wanna
you
spend
can also
the-
tie it into the engagement roll, and like if it's a good roll, we're successfully found them. If it's
Right.
you know, like, it
Okay.
can be tied narratively too.
Okay, so engagement roll. You start with 1d6 for sheer luck.
So I think though, before we get started, one of the things
Yes.
that Cade would say is there's some spiritual risk, but it is always possible that if I meet him in the lobby, I can shake his hand, steal his soul, and walk his whole body back out the front door.
What happens? This is me asking as the GM. What happens to your body? Does it just kind of stay there?
No, he's with me. He stays with me. So I mean, his soul would come into my
Gotcha.
body. A soulless body
he's-
doesn't die. It
Yep.
just is not.
He
easily
simply and
controlled.
horrifyingly enslaves the man's soul for all time.
Yeah. Oh no, just until he after
Makes-
3 days he dies. I'd let the soul go, but it would take 3 days
Classic.
before his body died, so the wouldn't really tie back to us.
Cool.
Yes. Aaron is a man who's read the book a lot. You're correct, old man Logan. Okay. So that's part of the plan?
Well, if it is, I think it makes it bold and daring, which would give us an extra dice.
Is that the approach you want to take?
Well, I mean, the approach is that we are deceiving to get in, right?
Right.
To even
Right.
get into
You
place.
to get
So
like
that's our
your first
step.
obstacle is gonna be the door. You're
Yeah.
gonna pull up. We'll say you're gonna maybe your connection with the cabbies. You pull up, in a goat drawn carriage and get out. That's where it's gonna pull. Like we're gonna zoom in and the action's gonna take place. That's our
So
engagement.
from
roll.
there, we just do whatever happens.
But I do think we have the cabbies on standby to get us out of there.
Okay. So 1d for sheer
thought.
luck. Is the operation particularly bold or daring? You take 1d if it is.
It's always bold.
Is this operation
Yeah.
overly complex or contingent on many factors? Minus 1d. I'm gonna say no. This is not complex
Almost
at all
never.
because you have
Yeah.
like really. You're like,
This
let's
is
just go in there.
straightforward, Yeah. This is the sledgehammer approach, and
Right.
maybe steal some guy's mortal soul.
Yeah, it's a snatch and grab. That's all it is.
Does the
It's I just want to say it's the idea that Aaron just came up with is nuts, and I just think people should respect how crazy that is.
It is absolutely the most bonkers thing I've ever heard, and to be this early in the game.
just steal a man's soul right in the
Wild.
lobby?
Yeah, I'll
and
just
walk
rip
out
his
with it?
soul out of
Crazy.
his chest.
Yeah. Love it.
Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're the weakest? No, we don't really
didn't
have.
lock his soul down.
But
Is
wasn't
the
that the whole
target-
point of the contact telling us that this is where he's weakest because there's no guards?
Oh,
That's
okay.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone bully
okay.
Matt.
Plus
Everyone
1D.
bully Matt.
Plus 1d.
Why don't you throw about 2 or 3 other D in there? Or
we have
we're not
4?
going to show up next week.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Additional D. Are there
Aaron
any
did bring up
enemies or
the
rivals
cabbies.
interfering with the operation?
I think the cabbies could help us out. I don't know if anybody's trying to hinder us.
I'm gonna say the wraiths are now on your case when you go there.
Charlie Sheen.
So we're at 3.
So we were at 4, but now we're down to 3.
You're down to 3. Are there any other elements? I'm gonna say no. Tier, location, etc. No. So we got 3d6, right? Who wants to
Yep.
roll our 3d6 for the engagement roll? Is that on the crew sheet at all, or do you just have to do 3d6 on the roller? Does anybody know?
I think you just have to roll it generally.
Yeah, I think you do too. I don't see.
There's
I
nothing
don't
special.
want to touch those dice at all. I'm not hot tonight.
I'll roll it.
Okay, so 3d6.
Go, go, go.
Did a crit.
Oh,
Doesn't
I don't know
look
why you have
good.
4 in there, but oh wait, I'm looking at the roll above. What'd you get?
A
A
4.
4, a 2, and a 1. A 4. So you're successful, but there's a
We're
risk.
going in risky.
You get out of the cab. There are 2 guards at the gate there, and they're wearing masks also. So they're wearing masks that are like predatory animals. They're both wearing like wolf masks, and you get out, and you're wearing masks that are kind of like ballroom masks.
Ducks.
And
Yeah.
they look at you strange, and they say, "What's the password?"
This happening right now?
This is happening real time.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna jaw jack both of them.
Nope.
No, you're in front of the place.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we were going in hot.
So,
No, this place is huge. It's full of important people. There are guards everywhere.
Both the guards ejaculate immediately.
No, so it's
Welcome-
a success. You're gonna get in
Welcome
there.
to the club.
Hey, keep in mind, it's a success. You're gonna go in there, but there's something. There's gonna be a consequence. So you can say whatever. Say whatever you want.
well,
You're
I think
successful.
this is the perfect time for a flashback.
All right, let's do a flashback.
Oh, thank God you're here.
Yeah, I could do one. Maybe I like wrote a letter to the ciphers to get information about like what these people use. If there's any like secret code that the nobles have, or like I wouldn't know password specifically, but just to get information.
Right. Okay. Like I said, you did roll a success, so you're gonna be successful getting in. There's just gonna be something that there's gonna be consequence for getting in.
We're like cough talk the password.
Yeah.
We're like it's
Or I mean, I could flash back and say that I went to talk to Lord Skurlock, who would have access to this place, and asked him what we needed to do to be prepared to go
So
in there.
you could
and
do
got
that.
the password from him.
Right.
Amazing.
Because
Yes.
a flashback doesn't undo a roll. But a
name drop the
flashback-
vampire.
A flashback can help you moving forward. That's the way it's designed in this game.
Right.
So you're not going to undo that for it. You're going to have a success, but there's going to be a consequence for that for. But yeah, a flashback can help you prepare a little bit more. Let's.
Amazing.
Do we want to do that flashback and then we'll call it for tonight?
Yeah.
Let's quickly that flashback. Okay, so you're gonna have an audience with Lord Skurlock.
We're all desperate to hear your vampire voice, Matt.
No, that's not it.
No, you
No.
gotta go old. You gotta go old Hammer Dracula.
That's a goal.
Gotta.
And vampires in this setting aren't like vampires. They're ghosts that have permanently inhabited a body.
Yeah.
So
They've taken.
think of that when you do the voice, Matt.
I
So,
can't.
so Optimus Prime.
I can't. Yeah.
Starscream.
Oh.
My Lord Skurlock, my friends and I have we found ourselves a job, and I was hoping you might help me out a little bit. I'm not particularly familiar with the Golden Palace, and we're hoping to get access there next Wednesday night. And is there anything you can do to or note you can give me that'll help get us in? I know we're not the typical quality they see there, but a friend of mine has alluded that there may be an individual there that I'd like to meet.
Yeah. What do you want to use? Consort?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be consort that I.
I
have
guess I'm not
0
supposed to ask
pips in,
that.
but-
You're supposed to tell me.
Yeah. No,
What
I mean,
what do you want to use?
it would be consort with him to see if, but it's going to be ugly.
Okay. It's going to be. He is your ally. You did save his life, did you not?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say this is controlled. It's not really risky, in this situation, but it's gonna be a standard effect.
So just let everybody know I have 0 pips in consorts. The
Do
way
you
that
want a
works
devil's
is
bargain?
you roll 2 dice and you take the worst one. What would your devil's bargain be?
Can't not so when you do a flashback, can someone still aid you? Because I know you can
Yeah.
gain a pip that way, so you don't have to roll your 2d6 take
Yeah.
rolls.
I mean, in flashback, you can get it. You can have assistance if it
you can
makes
take
sense,
someone with you, yeah.
narratively.
I'm not trying to tell anybody how to
Yeah.
play. I don't think I'm the good guy for this, but Evan might be
I mean,
solid.
I can meta it because I can't be here next week, and so I can stack stress on my guys since you guys are going to be getting it on the job.
You're gonna bring the guy who's huffing turpentine into
Yeah.
the Lord Sherlock.
So Sherlock's like, yeah,
to meet
okay.
the noble vampire lord. And he's like red eyes.
I'm just saying, I'm willing to like just take stress on my guys since I will be here next week. But it doesn't make sense story wise.
The devil's bargain will be you're gonna have to sacrifice your last remaining coin to Lord Skurlock.
Nah, I'll take 1 point of stress I mean, I'll take 2 points of stress and push myself and get 1 die.
Okay. And Jacques, did you want to go with him or no?
I don't think it
Leroy?
would make a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
That's a pretty powerful ally that I don't think a random
Okay.
schmo would just
Yeah,
go meet.
yeah.
Well,
I-
if you
I-
wanted to bring another noble with you, I could be there.
Yeah, I don't think that Cade would have taken anybody because he's just trying to approach him as
Oh my God.
basically like his mentor. So here we go. 1 die. And I fail.
All right. So you've...
You failed me once again, Starscream.
One die, one. roll.
He looks at you like annoyed. He's like, "Why do you come to me with such paltry requests, brothels and things of the flesh? You know I not care for these. Why do you have come? Be gone, be gone. I care not for such things."
You are right, my lord. I do not know what I was thinking. Thank you for your time.
Double uppercut. Okay, so let's zoom back to the gate.
So
And-
we cough talk our way through the password.
yeah. So you coughed out. You give a word. They kind of look at each other like it's an older one, but it checks out, and they let you in.
Those duck masks are ridiculous.
But you get inside, and someone greets you, takes your coat. Again, all of the people who work here are all wearing like almost like predatory animal masks. And when you get in there, you scan the room, and it looks like all the patrons are wearing like masks of those that would be the prey to predators. You see like hares or ducks or
Yes.
mice and things like that. And you're wearing kind of like a mix match of like ballroom masquerade masks, and you kind of stand out when you enter this room.
I think Leadbelly's wearing like the Man in the Iron Mask.
Sure.
So I think
You look
that's-
like you look like mankind.
exactly. That's exactly right.
And you're sitting there going, hurry, hurry, or whatever he did. Okay. Let's leave off there. So you're in there,
Massive
Password.
social faux pas. Wrong
and
masks.
you are sticking out like a sore thumb. So we'll pick up next week. We'll leave off with that. That was a good little start of getting into the system. There are. I'm so happy to have Evan and Aaron here who know the system very, very well to help us out with things. But this is
Super helpful. Yeah, thank you.
an interesting crew. To do a round table. I know I'll just hit up the people I know who have stuff going on this week, so I won't put the others on the spot. Jeff, what do you got going on the rest of this week?
Yeah, Friday, twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. We're playing Delta Green, playing Impossible Landscapes, continuing through part 2. Saturday, we're doing Worlds Without Number. And Monday, we're starting up Alien Chapter 3. And Matt will be losing another character pretty much right off the bat. And that
Yeah,
probably.
I'm going to sacrifice myself. Session
Yeah.
1. Evan?
Aliens Free League channel on Sunday. We will be deciding between life or death or fleeing or something. It'll be a little bit rough for us, but we'll figure it out.
I won't kill him. Maybe.
You just kill
Aaron.
me because that's how it all happens.
No. It's Jeff I got to kill. Aaron, what do you got going on the rest of this week?
The same Aliens Suicide Pact on Sunday night, and then Tuesday we'll be back over at Spectaculars on Garblag Games.
That's right. All right. So thank you, everybody.
Oh,
who
and
tuned-
Wednesday, I think Akchung Cthulhu episode
Ooh.
1 will start on Garblag.
Is that
Cool.
the 2D20 one or the other one?
No,
it's
the one based on it'll be the one based on 7th edition Call of
Awesome.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. I'm interested. Savage Worlds was also a good implementation of that. But yeah, thanks to everybody who joined us for character creation, crew creation, and us kind of like fumbling our way through our quasi first session as we learn this system a little bit more. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how this heist goes off. As we just like punch everybody at this grand
Yes.
gentleman's club.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week, Thursday, when we pick this up again. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.